Irma, how are you doing?
I am doing well. How are you?
Doing well. It's Thursday, the 22nd of February, 2024. This is our conversation, a brief conversation you and I have. And I was going to throw at you the first question. Has there ever been a time in your Arizona barrio stories that you see not a no action time, or I always see that there's something new coming every time. Has there ever been a time where you said, "Oh, we need something new," or has it always been steady, that innovation machine, so to speak?
There is never any downtime when it comes to Gil. He
Mm,
always has these ideas, and there's always something on the back burner. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. This weekend is there's this. So it's not steady. It's like always something happening. Good stuff happening.
You and I mentioned Raul Aguirre, correct?
Correct.
From Tucson. Just briefly, I think I believe I saw one more show. Is he doing the shows every one a month, two a month, every week? How often is he doing the shows?
Well, what we have done in the month of December and the month of January, we traveled to Tucson and we taped multiple shows.
Hmm.
And then when we release them one at a time. Um, Dr. Jose Leiva did the December ones where he kind of introduced Raul Aguirre, and then therefore Raul is kind of not taking over, but he will be doing the Tucson portion. So
Right.
Raul is kind of taking the bull by the horns and will be doing Tucson stuff. But
That's great. That's great. I watched the two that he's done, and they're just really, really good. I believe he was an artist. The last one, an artist. I don't know if you have the name, but it was very interesting. I mean, I think he has a PhD, if I'm not mistaken,
mhm.
and he is just a great artist. And he really is a very mystical, spiritual kind of person. I really enjoyed his talk.
All of the people that he has brought on our show to showcase have been
Hmm.
very, very. I mean, you're captivated by what they have to say.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show my PowerPoint. I always have PowerPoints. As you know, I'm a PowerPoint person. What's new? What's new with Arizona Barrio Stories? I know you always are coming up with new stuff. The Latino USA TV is still in the works, but even before that, it's launched in its full capacity, if you will. You already are introducing a new thing. What is this new Barrio podcast
It is
all
called
about?
Barrio Pod,
Okay.
and we are hooking up. It's going to be an out 1 hour long into deep conversation. You know, when you see our program, it's usually limited by time, usually 13 minutes, we say. And with 13 minutes, it's hard to get into a deep conversation with somebody.
Right.
So with the working with attorney Francisco Gutierrez, he grew up in the Anat area.
Hmm.
And with him, we're going to get into some deep conversations about things in the barrio. You know, like I said, we're limited on time, 13 minutes. With an hour, we can get into more detail, more deeper conversations. Um, our first show that will be coming up, we have a map of, I believe it's 1971, of the Golden Gate Barrio,
Hmm.
Campito, Las Milpas, Anot, and we're going to be talking about some of the significant structures and things that what 1971 looked like. And, you know, of course, a lot of people moved away, a lot of people were relocated, barrios vanished. So we're going to get into a deep conversation of what life was like in the early 70s.
Hmm.
And you know, it's like I said, a deeper conversation. This map is really neat. It's kind of interactive, but it's like a bird's eye view. You're going to look at it and you're going to think, hey, my nana used to live there.
Hmm.
Hey, there's Clothing City. Hey, you know,
Right.
so people will recognize certain structures that are no longer there. So we're really excited about this podcast that is coming up. We're also at the same time we were able to access, and anybody can do this, through the city of Phoenix. There's a Hispanic property survey that people can access, and you can read about the beginnings of some of the barrios. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that also.
Now, where are these podcasts going to be? How can people access them?
We are encouraging people to subscribe to our YouTube channel,
Okay.
Latino USA TV, via Arizona Barrio Stories. But it'll be audio and video, but
Right.
we're gonna have a library there in case somebody missed it and wants to go back and find it.
Good. So at the end of the day, you're combining Facebook and YouTube. And I believe Gil also has a LinkedIn account. I've
Correct.
seen some postings in LinkedIn. And then, of course, soon the Latino USA TV is going to be launched. And then I heard a website also.
Correct. A matter of fact, if you were to go on right now and log on to YouTube today and subscribe today, you could find our channel there. I mean, it's still being tweaked, but you could go there today and find some of our shows.
The other day, on one of the posts, I think I saw it either in LinkedIn or in Facebook. There's an article that was written about the beginning of this platform. I'm sure you're familiar with that. I believe the Arizona Republic, someone there wrote an article, and it's amazing. It's pretty long, and I was kind of, rushing time, and I ended up reading the whole thing. It's pretty interesting. It talks about how Gil, was living in a place that eventually was literally asked to move out, to sell the home or something because of the airport that was built, this and that. An amazing article. I'm sure you had a chance. Did you participate in that interview? Have you read it or have anything on that?
Yes, I was the contact person in that.
Mm-hmm.
Rafael Ruiz Romero wrote the article. He works with Arizona Central, Arizona Republic, and La Voz.
That's right.
And so we met a couple of times, and he was fishing around to see how Arizona Barrio Stories got started. So, we gave him background, and then he was able to listen to a video of when Gil received the award for our group from the Arizona Historical Society. And in there, Gil mentions, he was a paper boy. So
That's right.
his route, he knew all the familias. Not only did he know the familias, he knew their chisme, he knew the dog's name, the cat's name, he knew all the little stories, and he was fascinated by the stories. So, here is the beginning of him being, intertwined and with these familias. And once people were relocated, or
Right.
asked to move, what happened to those familias? What happened to Senora Candelaria? What happened to Miss, you lose those connections.
Yeah.
So there was, in his mind, wouldn't it be neat if people were to reconnect and let's find out what happened to certain families and, carry those stories.
Yeah, that article really helped me realize where the passion comes. When you talk to Gil, to you, I mean, this is your roots, this is your tierra, right? Your barrio. I was born in Mexico. I spent the first 12 years of my life there, and when I go back, you just feel it, right? And then I spend a good, it's 40 years and 40, no, less than 40. Let's see, some 25 years in East Los Angeles.
I thought you were 16 years old.
And then I spend those 20 plus years in East Los Angeles, and it's still there. You feel it. And then now in Phoenix, 20 years. Come on, So I have had that privilege of living in three places where I kind of grew some roots, and there's that passion, that feeling when you touch those places and those people. So
Yeah.
I can see how Gil and you and everyone who grew up in the barrios of Phoenix have that feeling as well.
Yeah, especially the connections to your you call your neighbors your family because
Right.
you've been living with them for so long. You think, well, I wonder what happened to so and so. I wonder. So it's those connections that give you those warm feelings, and even places. It might not be a certain family, it might be a place. Somebody, you might say, oh, I remember Clothing City, or I remember this. And, I remember in the corner of Mojave, I could buy 10 hamburgers for $1. Those feelings that come back, those
Yeah.
stories.
Well, thank you very much. Again, people can go to Arizona Barrio Stories on Facebook. That will be like the door to all these other platforms that you use, and you post everything there. So you can't miss it. Don't forget, everyone watching this video, if you have not yet, find or connected with the Arizona Barrio Stories, find them on Facebook, and everything will be posted there. Well, we try to make this, programs very, very brief. So let me just mention something very, very important, and then we'll close. There has been some changes to the kids program. And at ARP, we serve the 50 plus, everyone, but we focus on the 50 plus. And we know that there are thousands of grandparents raising grandchildren. And those grandparents, we have to believe that many of the grandchildren have insurance. And with these changes, it's going to move. There are income-based programs in our state and in the whole country. You're talking about the Access program, the food stamps, et cetera, and the SSI on Social Security that is based on income. Well, KidsCare is literally access, but it allows more to make more income than the Access program, but it only applies to children. It's also part of the federal program called CHIP. And I have the chart that Children Action Alliance sent me, and actually I'm going to do a fuller this change, KidsCare change that went from making 200% of federal poverty level. Now you can make up to 225% of federal poverty level and still be eligible. I'm not going to get into all the details now because I'm going to have a representative of the Children Action Alliance, and this program, this update will be posted on Saturday. I invite you to tune in, but just wanted to throw this in there as a kind of a part of our conversation. Great news for Arizona. It is estimated that some 10,000 children will be benefited by this program, and is basically health insurance. Let's just put it simply, it's health insurance. We'll leave it at that. Irma. I think this is sufficient for a conversation, a brief conversation. So I want to thank you as always. I think this brief conversation every other week on Thursday is very good. Anything that you want to add?
Just remind people to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Latino USA TV. Don't forget to subscribe.
Perfect. We'll play the music. We'll see you next time. Take care.